Hello and welcome to another edition of The Buzz. It's Lifestyle Thursday, and today is Thursday, the 16th of May 2024. We welcome you warmly to the program. My name is Patience. A pleasure to be here as always. How are you doing? Hope you're fine and hope you're enjoying the rain. Well, in this part of Lagos where I am, it's been raining, even though I think it's subsiding now. I don't know if you've experienced the rain today. If not, you're lucky. But if you did see rain, enjoy the weather. Welcome to the show. All right. So, veteran Nollywood actor started a debate online. His name is K.O.K. Kanayo O. Kanayo. His first son, Clinton, recently joined the movie industry in Nollywood, and having done his first job, he got his first paycheck. And in a very significant video, Kanayo O. Kanayo has advised Nigerians to embrace the traditional way of doing things. And much later, when we get into the program, you will understand what I mean. But then the question we're asking this afternoon, based on what KOK said, is who should get your first paycheck? Is it your parents or should it be your pastor? Anyways, let's get into the program. Joining me on the program this afternoon, with pleasure, I welcome ladies to the table, and together we'll be analyzing the trending lifestyle topics on the Nigerian social media space. I have Mrs. Uche Ideho joining us on the program this afternoon. She's an entrepreneur. She's also an author. She wrote the book, The Right Way to Court, and she's joining us as a relationship counselor today. Good afternoon, Mrs. Ideho.
Good afternoon.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Always good to be here.
Always good to have you here. And of course, the class monitor herself is here as well, Pastor Dolly. She also has written 2 books. She's also a minister of God, and she's joining us as a marriage and relationship counselor. Welcome, Pastor Dolly.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you here.
Always nice to be here.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank
and of
you.
course, I welcome the viewers. Thank you for tuning in. The number to be on the screen shortly. You can send a text to that number. I noticed some people are still sending messages to the old number we used to use. Please, that number is no longer used on the program, but use the one that is on the screen. It will be on the screen shortly. That is the right one for the program. Plus, you can watch this show live on X, that's formerly Twitter, or you can watch on Star Times, or just download the Galaxy TV app on your mobile devices and watch us on the go. Having said that, let's get into the program this afternoon, and the first topic we're looking at is this Nigerian woman who cancelled her wedding because her groom-to-be refused to move out of his family house. All right, so I'm not going to be mentioning names, even though the names of this couple are online, but they are actually not the subject of what we're discussing this afternoon. We're just drawing inferences from what happened to them, you know, to discuss the issues at the table. All right, so no name calling, but this is a true life story. It happened in Jos, Plateau State, about a couple of weeks ago. All right, so this young lady about to get married actually had to cancel her wedding because her husband-to-be refused to move out of his family house. So according to online reports on this matter, the bride and the groom already had a conversation around where they will be staying after marriage. And according to the reports, the man actually told her that they will be living in the family house, but only for 2 months. And after 2 months, they would move out and get an apartment, to which the lady initially agreed. But later on, I think she changed her mind after some other things started happening. Things like she needed to rent her wedding gown, and she requested for 30,000 naira from the husband, and he sent half of the money, promising to pay up later in the week. And then she got offended and she was like, no, if you cannot rent just a wedding gown, we might as well not get married. And the man just went everywhere and was able to give her the balance. That was where the whole issue started from. So after the money for renting the wedding gown, one day the man said they were just having a conversation, and she just threw the question. I was like, where are we going to live after this wedding? And he was like, well, we discussed this before. We'll be living in my family house for 2 months, and then we'll look for our own apartment. And the lady put her foot down and said, no, you have to rent an apartment for us to live in before the marriage. Otherwise, the wedding is off. And the sister to the bride, whom online reports are saying confirmed this story, actually said that the husband wanted them to live in the family house so that the wife can take care of his sick mother. A task the new bride is not ready to take upon herself. All right, so this story has been trending online, you know, since the news broke, and there are several comments on this matter. So we're bringing it to the table, you know, canceling your wedding over, you know, moving out of a family house. Anyways, let me start with you, Mrs. Ideho. Is that a deal breaker, or should it be a deal breaker, really? You know, the fact that the man wants to live in his family house after marriage.
I think there's a saying that says a broken relationship is better than
A broken marriage.
You know, you are not a wife, or you are not a wife until everything is being done. You know, so I don't see anything wrong if she has the boldness for any reason at all for her to know that this is not, you know, between the time of courtship and all that till to the moment of the pastor pronouncing husband and wife, a lot of things could happen. If you know, some people are still having these doubts, should I not? So if anybody feels that before that date, I have a reason, very good reason
why I can't proceed,
why I should not. I think for me, it is a big step, because she knows that rather than entering into something that I feel that could change, why don't I have the change now? Before I enter? So I would applaud her, because that's really bold and a big step. You know, some people would say that he will change or she will change. Let me just enter into this marriage. I think the first thing the lady did was the issue of renting
a wedding gown.
So he knows that this man can afford the money to rent an apartment if he wants to. So by refusing not to rent an apartment, it means that the man has an ulterior motive. And for the fact that the lady says that if you don't do this, I'll cut off the wedding, and he still allowed her to do that, that means really there's another motive behind just living in the family house. And a man, let me just quote the Holy Books. He said, the man will leave his parents and cleave to
his wife.
So why would you want to bring your wife into your family house? I know that there are cultures outside Nigeria where they believe in family house, but I think here it is not our own culture. You are to live alone as husband and wife. So for me, I will applaud. I will applaud the lady for taking that bold
step. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ideho.
I go absolutely with
really?
Mrs. Ideho, yes. Because I think that before you even think of planning marriage, the first thing that you should plan is actually to be a man. Because if you're still living under the roof of your parents, you are a child. And you should not think of marriage. So getting your own house, your own apartment, away from your family house should be one first step you must take in planning for marriage. For instance, you're planning the party day, you're planning to cook, you're planning to do this. The way you are planning everything, the first thing that should be in the plan should be getting a house for both of you to go and stay together. You cannot marry while you are still in your father's house, you're still in your mother's house. Excuse me, you're not qualified to marry.
But what if my father's house is a mansion? And there are many rooms. You know, like I can roll like this, I can roll like this. I don't have to pay rent.
If your father has
mansion,
mansion,
what's wrong with that though?
If your father have mansion for you to stay in, your father could have as well settled you to go and be a man of your own.
Settled?
Yes, because if you are still living in your parents' house, there's no way you can be a man for yourself. For instance, oh, the mansion is there, you are not going to pay rent and all that. Where is the room for you to kind of struggle to become something for yourself?
To be responsible.
To be responsible.
In paying bills.
In paying bills.
Okay.
Otherwise, you are just a child and you remain a child forever. For me, that decision that girl took is the best decision any girl should take. She wasn't desperate. If she was the desperate one, let me just enter first. She was not desperate, and that is the perfect way every young girl should take life. You should not be desperate. Because you're desperate, you just want to enter. Because when you enter tomorrow, the possibility of staying, of remaining, is not there. Because you are going to have pressure from the family, maybe pressure from the marriage itself, then having the family to deal with. One thing you should know is that it is the boy that loves you, that fell in love with you, not the family. And love covers multitude of sin. He is living with them. They cannot see his fault because they love him. He's their son. But there is nothing you will do as a stranger that joins them without them seeing fault in what you do. So living with them is not ideal at all.
Yeah. All right. You want to add something? Okay.
If the man does not have an ulterior motive, why 2 months? Why would you want me to live with your family for 2 months?
Well, the wedding expenses is already a lot. He needs time.
You should wait to get the money.
Wait that 2 months for you to get an apartment.
You should wait before getting married.
It's not like he doesn't want to leave, but he just wants us to stay
2 months at least.
What's going to happen within these 2 months that we can't live without staying in 2 months? And if the parents are actually maybe like you said, have mansion and all that, we've seen families that will give their son
maybe a wing,
a building entirely.
They will build for the child somewhere else.
You know, okay, let's just maybe he does not have money. What's the guarantee that within 2 months the money for apartment will come? So for the fact that it's not like he wants us to live here permanently. So he actually agreed that we live on our own. So what is the use of these 2 months? Is it that you people have planned that within these 2 months there's a hidden agenda somewhere?
2 months is forever.
That 2 months, that even agreeing that don't worry, we will move, but we will stay for that 2 months. That alone is also questionable. Okay.
All right, but like the sister of the bride said, the man has a sick mother, and he feels that maybe the wife, will be able to take care of his mother, which to me is how I feel every human being will feel. And is that also a selfish move on the part of the man?
Well, I believe that before you drag somebody into something, you don't have to be crafty about it. You want her to be a nurse to your mother. That's probably why you are even marrying in the first place. And let her know if she wants to live her life as a nurse to your sick mother. If she's not interested in doing that, go and look for somebody that wants to be a nurse to your sick mother. Because you don't need to trick her into forever 2 months. That 2 months is a forever 2 months that wants to trick her into. And because she was smart enough to understand, and she decided, no, this is not what I want for myself. She may just be a working class lady, or she may be somebody who is doing one thing or the other also for herself. Coming in to live with the mother, of course they may have the money to throw at her, will definitely reduce her from who she wants to be, what she wants to be for herself, to what they want her to be for them. So if she is not in agreement with that, she has every right to cut off that relationship, because she should be told. The man should come up plain. This is what I want you to do. Tell me, this is what I want you to do. Not telling her you want to live for 2 months. Brother, wait for the 2 months. After the 2 months, we will marry. Since you have 2 months, since you have 2 more months to stay in your parents' house and stay there alone. So after the 2 months, go and rent the house for us. Then we can talk of marriage.
Okay. All right. This particular story actually blew up the social media space last week when the news came out. All right. Not because it is the first time a bride will cancel a wedding, but because in our African society, you know, married women, you know, it's a given. Most of them live with their husbands' families anyways. So you'll be wondering, what is the difference in this story? The difference is that the bride knew she had a choice and she took the step, you know, to make that choice. Now, the social media space is divided. Some people are saying she was a bit selfish, you know, not putting the man into consideration. I mean, invitations have been printed and sent out. Guests have been invited. Monies have been earmarked for different things for the wedding. And just, I think about a week or so to the wedding, she calls it off just because the man refused to leave his family house. All right, so quickly, ladies, what are the lessons, the inferences we can draw from this story, especially for those who are waiting to get married?
I would say that what you know you cannot endure, don't stop it. I think that this is a big lesson for serious couples. You know that it's a lifetime journey I want to go into. So if I know that I will take this and I don't know the extent in which I can go with this, so it's better I don't go in. But like what you said, the sister of the bride said, call the man and the sick more. And it's not everybody that can take care of the sick person.
Yes.
Even if it's your own mom, your biological mom. So it's not everybody that has the mental capacity to take care of the sick mom. And I believe that this story, it should have more than we know. You know, for the woman, for any lady, few days to your wedding to say, I am not doing again, then she must have seen something she knows she is not mentally capable to consume.
Okay.
So I will be lesson here that we should not be slothful. We should not be shy to really take such a good step. At the end of the day, it's for your own good. Some people are saying, oh, she's being selfish and all that. These same people that are saying she's being selfish are the same people that will say, why didn't you run away when you knew you had time to do that? I think we should all learn from this.
Okay. All right. What are the lessons, Pastor Dolly?
Yeah, it is wrong to be hypocritical. It is wrong to accept what you don't really want. You know this thing, that's not what I want, but because of what people will say, you then not say that few days to the wedding. I had such a situation really. 2 weeks to the wedding, I wanted to cut off the wedding. I didn't, but the marriage didn't work. So if there's any regret I have to, if I had known, I would have taken that step. I actually took it. Friends came, card is out. The card is everybody, they received the card and all that. And I went into it. So I think it is always the best when you notice things are not going the way you want it. And you know you cannot live with that. The best decision is to, it is like she said, and it is better to cut off relationship than to break relationship than to break marriage. So she took the best decision anyone would have taken in this circumstance. And that's, for me, that's the lesson. The right decision at the right time.
All right.
And minding what people will say. Because if she enter and it didn't work, the work will still play her.
Yes.
Why did she?
Exactly.
She knows she cannot take care of sick mother. Or if she enters, she go and be wicked to the sick mother. She's not giving the right attention to the sick mother. That's why I said it's better the man look for somebody who has the right attention to give to his mother.
Exactly.
I think,
Doesn't he have sisters though?
I think that there are a lot of ladies that are in her position, exactly like his position, and took the wrong and decided to go ahead. I have a lady that few weeks to her wedding, she discovered that her husband to be is an atheist, and she's a daughter to a reverend. The man never showed it before now. They fixed the dates, and then the siblings are to flow in from UK and all that. Only for they were just having a conversation, and he said, do you know that I don't believe in God? I don't believe in going to church. And she never knew. And they went to church for counseling, and the guy went with her. I'm talking about few days to their wedding. The lady said, I can never live with you. So there are a lot of ladies that are in this same position like this lady, but did not have the boldness to cut off the wedding. Cutting off the wedding, I think, is not being selfish. I think you're saving yourself a lot.
And also saving the other person too.
Yeah. All right. So enough said on this issue. Please, I think the lesson is don't love what you hate. Okay, so be open enough to yourself to make that right decision. So she took the right decision for herself. At the end of the day, she's the one that would have married the man. She's the one that would have been in the marriage, enduring what is not palatable to her, you know, and she's the one that would have suffered everything. So she took that decision for herself, which is the way to go.